living in Japan as a black woman for over 9 years now, but my sister hasn't. You also asked what cool places to visit in Japan. So I thought it would be fun to take her to 2 really famous spots in Japan and one that's not as well known to see her reactions.
I was in Japan.
Do you think the road less traveled is always best? You might be surprised. Here is everything we did and whether you should try them too when you come to Japan.
Let's go in here. First, let's start with Akihabara.
Yeah, okay, Akihabara first and then we can save the best for last.
In 15 minutes, pursuant to relevant laws and regulations, we will prohibit entry of customers under the age of 16.
What's about to go down? I don't know.
So what do you remember about Akihabara?
So Akihabara is the electric town. What I really remember is Hongdobin. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's like the pancake things that are filled with red bean. I absolutely love them. I ate tons of them when I was living in Taiwan. Also, anime, collectibles, just anime in general.
So we did a lot of walking along the streets, and what did you see when we were walking?
I loved the street signs. I feel like just as an American, the street signs alone are like, whoa. Also, we saw a lot of maid cafes, animal cafes as well, vending machines. What are they?
Wow, Pokemon cards, 5,000 yen. Battle Royale.
And I also took you to my favorite chain restaurant curry place. Do you remember the name of the curry place?
This is Gogo Curry. It's really good.
Jordan got?
Manhattan katsu curry with the bush.
I got chicken katsu curry.
Yeah, you got the mega platter.
Yeah, I did. I was
I
starving.
think that's for the men, like the
I
salad
don't
men
give a
after
shit.
work.
I almost finished it. I had like 1 bite left. I felt so good afterwards. And I had fried chicken on top. It had like katsu. Katsu.
Literally had
Right.
everything in it.
I still have no idea what these things are. They're called something, and it's amazing. It got dark so soon.
It did. And it's colder.
Yeah, it's cold.
But I feel warm because I got curry in my belly.
On a scale of 1 to 5, how highly would you rank going to Akihabara for people coming to Japan for their first time?
Honestly, if you've studied Japanese culture for a long time, if you're very into Japanese culture, then I highly recommend it because it was very amazing. I feel like when we went there, I was like, oh my god, like I'm finally in Tokyo, you know? That was like my moment where I was like, whoa. So yeah, I definitely say it's a 5.
I disagree. I disagree.
Okay. Well, you've lived there for so long, I can imagine. It's probably like touristic and stuff, huh?
Akihabara is definitely the Japan that Japan markets to
Yeah.
foreign countries. So I wouldn't say it's Japanese culture per se. Like it is a part of Japanese culture, but it's definitely the Japan that Japan wants people to see. But yeah, Akihabara is definitely a place you should go. I agree with you. If you're into like anime games and stuff like this. But yeah, it's high up on the list. Go to Akihabara. I would give it a 5.
You being a hipster.
I'm a hipster.
Okay, so she gave Akihabara a 5 out of 5, but what about my neighborhood?
It's not the same.
They are.
It's not. The steam don't roll how it used to know. Set the smoke don't hit like it's short. I've been laying wide awake when the moon come up by, wondering why it don't feel like it would. That awake feeling got in my belly now. Couldn't turn it off even though I would.
let's talk about Yokohama Chinatown. What do you remember about Chinatown?
Oh yeah, I had to think for a moment. So Chinatown was gorgeous. It was actually really close to the place that I did a gig at, 7th Avenue, Yokohama.
Oh, I forgot you don't know my sister. This is my sister Jordan, or more commonly known as JoLy. She's a digital nomad singer living in Portugal who also got a chance to sing in Japan, but more on that later. Buy one of her personalized song gifts or follow her using the links in the description box below.
What did you just order?
I just ordered jiaozi. It's dumplings.
这是辣油，对，辣的。然后这是酱油，咸的。这是酸的。
好，谢谢。Do you want spicy?
I
do.
辛いですね。ちょっとだけです。
Yeah.
We got the gyoza.
We got the gyoza.
We got the gyoza.
I prefer to dip mine, that's why I put it over here.
Oishi.
This is really good.
That was amazing. And the chili pepperoni sauce was fire.
They have several gates within that part of the cities. If you wander around in that part of the city, you're just going to end up in Chinatown because it's so big. We ate a lot, as expected.
I just said thank you for the meal, like in Japanese, gochisousama desu. He looked disappointed, Jordan, the chef. What? Really? Why? Why? They looked nice to you, but I guess because you're speaking Chinese.
On a scale of 1 to 5, how highly would you rank going to Chinatown?
I would say definitely a 5. I'm rating everything a 5, so maybe you won't believe me anymore. If you're familiar with Chinatowns, if you like Chinese culture, also if you just want to see something different in Japan that's not really expected, highly recommend. And just go for the food. Like the food is everything. The food.
What are the top 5 foods that you think people should try when they're here?
Omurice.
Okay, what else?
Hash browns from Lawson.
What else?
Curry. I was gonna say omurice.
What else?
Oh, Kobe beef.
Yeah, Kobe beef.
That was a spiritual experience. Like usually when I eat food, I have to be like, oh, this is that ingredient and it has this note and I can do it like this and we can recreate it like that. I was quiet. I could not speak. I drank the juice from the plate.
It was delicious.
The last thing you should try when you come to Japan is yakiniku.
Oh.
Or yakitori, right?
Yakitori is like grilled chicken. Yakiniku.
Yakiniku.
Yeah.
Delicious. And do it in someone's home.
Don't you tell people to come to my...
Next in Yokohama, I took my sister to Noge, or Nogecho. For those of you who don't know, Noge is one of those places that if you know, you know. If you don't know, no one is going to tell you. This is truly a local area that many tourists and even Japanese Tokyo people don't know, because it's mainly for locals. So good luck finding anything in English. The closest thing I can compare Noge to is Golden Gai in Tokyo, but with a much wider area.
So what do you remember about Noge or Hinodacho? You actually sang there.
Yeah, so we were in Hinodacho. We passed a food hall that was looking for singers. So I was like, okay, let's go.
He can't stand his big brown eyes.
Oh my god.
It's like I'm honey dipped in cinnamon. Do you wanna try my type? He said he can't stand. I will make up my mind, but I'm not trying to fall again and get bruises this time.
オリジナルソングがすごく良かったです。本当に素晴らしかったです。
ありがとうございます。
I like Yokohama.
Yeah, Yokohama. Why Yokohama?
Because it's just so nice. I feel like it has very niche cafes.
Like which cafe? We went to so many.
We went to an African textile cafe, right?
Oh, yeah,
and I sang some songs there. Also, the food was delicious. And Yokohama is yes, there are busy parts like in Tokyo, but it's just more relaxed.
try?
Yeah, it's more relaxed.
It's more relaxed, but it's not boring.
Yeah.
There are things to do, there are things to see, there are lights everywhere. You got the Japanese side.
I love the lights. I can't, I don't know.
On a scale of 1 to 5, how highly would you recommend and rank going to Noge or the Hinodacho area?
So I'd say it's a solid 3. I really enjoyed it. I think the food was absolutely incredible, but if you're short on time in Japan, don't stress yourself out. I mean, it is a little less touristic, so you'll be able to breathe a little bit more as you walk through the town. Plus, it's honestly just gorgeous. But if you're short on time, maybe next time.
On a scale of 1 to 5, how highly would you recommend Yokohama and Chinatown, Landmark Tower?
On a scale of taking into account if you're like a first-time traveler to Japan or whether or not you have to fit it into your trip, I will say that it is a 3. Only because if you're coming to Japan for the first time, go to Narita. Do all of those things, so you don't want to miss that. But if you have extra time, if you want to relax a little bit and really experience what it is like to live in Japan, go to Yokohama. Don't miss it.
Golden Guy,
Nara.
Yokohama, Nara. Why Nara?
Nara.
Why?
I don't have to say it. Bambi!
What are we going to do?
We're gonna feed the deer.
Let's go feed the deer.
We are here. We want to go here.
Hey, Booby. Hey, Booby.
Ten out of 10, hands down, Nara. Go to Nara. Wear a princess dress. Dress up like Snow White. Learn all your songs from that Shrek thing. Sing to some birds. Go to Nara. It's beautiful. You won't regret it. Don't eat the deer crackers.
Yeah, you ate the deer crackers.
You didn't have to say that I ate it. Just don't eat them.
Why so gentle?
So I imagine if you hit one, you get fined.
But it'd be cool if you got fined and then you could keep the meat.
Just north of Nara Park is Todaiji Temple. Built in 752, it has one of the biggest bronze Buddha statues in Japan. If you're visiting Nara, this is a historic must-see.
It was so great. It was so great. Like, it is so great. I'm still beaming from that trip. Like, when I'm on the train, I don't have Wi-Fi. What am I doing? I'm looking at us petting deer. Like, it is so cute. Nara.
Okay.
Definitely. And from there, Osaka. I really like that trip. The way that you planned it, because Osaka's really fun too.
While here, I also took JoLy to Mount Fuji, Narita, and Osaka. Kyoto was also an option, but in my personal opinion, the crowds weren't worth it, and similar temples and vibes can be found in other parts of Japan.
If you guys want to come to Japan and have like plan things with me, I'll plan your trip. We'll go around.
This was your second time in Japan. A lot of my viewers want to know, did you feel you were treated a specific way because you're Black or because you're a woman?
No.
My sister likes the famous tourist spots, and she has good reasons for it. But did you notice the places where she actually got to make friends and meet locals? In local places like this. Although she doesn't speak Japanese, she was still able to communicate and have fun. But if you're curious about how I learned Japanese for these kinds of situations, check out the links in the description box below.
No, I mean, so I can see where that mentality will come in if this is like your first time in Asia. Given my history, I lived in Taiwan for 6 years. I grew up in a Taiwanese community. I've been to Japan twice. I'm very familiar with like other cultures as well. I'm traveling while Black. I think it's very important, especially for Americans, people that have that mentality of traveling while Black, to really just consider yourself firstly as a person. And that sounds really awful, but just to consider yourself of like, okay, I'm no different than these people, even if you do look different. But just put yourself in that bubble, put yourself in those shoes, and then assess the situation. I think especially as Americans and the conditions that we are forced into in American society, it's need to apply that narrative of how you go through day to day as a Black person to all cultures wherever you go. But I think that will be incredibly limiting to your experience.
See, I still think American trains are better, long distance trains.
They're comfortable.
More comfortable.